My life was entirely consumed by anxiety, and that for the better part of 5 years of my life. What started as one single panic attack randomly firing up one day in my office ended up being this gigantic black hole that sucked in everything from my life. I mean, genuinely everything. I started as this, at least I thought, confident young mid-20s man, and at the worst, I was pretty much an empty shell of myself. I was this broken, fragile little boy that was only waiting to be struck down by one of the so many symptoms that deep inside I thought I knew had to be a sign for something serious. No, seriously, my entire body was in pain. My muscles were extremely tense, had knots everywhere, and aches, pinches, little cut-like and burning sensations, numbness, rashes, and so much more was just constantly popping up and firing up. And these were just the sensations that I would feel 24/7. I don't even want to get started on the real scary ones that led me to believe that I was going to die from a heart attack or stroke or any other of the 100+ diseases I found somewhere deep into one of my thousands of Googling sessions that led me down a rabbit hole of general medical websites, all the way down to super specific papers written by medical experts on a specific cancer that maybe 10 people had in the world. And you know what? In my mind, I thought I'm probably one of them because all the other more obvious cancers and illnesses must have been very easy to spot by my doctor in the dozens of sessions and tests I had with them, right? So yeah, you can imagine I pretty much had made up my mind that I was suffering from a terminal disease, and it could only be a matter of a few days or maybe even minutes that I would be struck down by my inevitable fate. Seriously, I was just waiting for it to happen. Looking back at that time, I now know what my biggest mistake was. So I felt helpless because no one believed what I was experiencing or didn't take it serious. No doctors, no friends, no family. So I took matters in my own hands because I knew I was probably terminally ill and just had to make it another day until one day someone will see that I wasn't making stuff up. So to somehow do my best to stop something really bad from actually happening, I have set up so many physical and mental crutches to make sure my frail little body would not give up on me. At the lowest point, I was too scared to get up too fast out of bed because I didn't want to cause any blood pressure spikes that could loosen up a blood clot somewhere in my veins. Yeah, and so I ended up with big water bottles in my bed to, go to toilet. I am sure that many of you can relate. Maybe not to that extreme, but I am sure the majority of you have your very own crutches. Some other common ones I had were I could only go out with my cell phone on me, and I even had an emergency contact list in my pocket in case medics couldn't unlock my phone. I had to have emergency Xanax with me, even though I never took any meds because I was even too afraid of the side effects. But you never know, right? I was looking for a place to live that is near a hospital, or when I did go to some city, I had to know where the hospital is and how long it would take for the ambulance to get me there, because every minute counts when it comes to heart attacks and strokes. I also didn't want to get my heart pumping too hard because it's just too fragile. Or maybe you keep asking a person that is with you if you look okay or if you look a little bit off. Like, is my left side of my face dropping? Or do you have this sensation sometimes that you feel like you have less feeling in your fingertips? Is this normal? Please tell me this is normal, and so on. And the most common one, I kept Googling my symptoms, always, every day. I now know that this was nothing more than a crutch as well. By Googling my symptoms, I could feel a bit in control. I longed for this sense of control, and it somehow gave me the feeling that I could regulate my anxiety levels. I felt symptoms, and then I went on Google binges trying to persuade myself out of these terrible thoughts. You probably know exactly what I mean. So I think that in order to get the anxiety recovery journey rolling, at some point you will really have to rip off that bandage and get rid of all your crutches that you have built up over the years you have dealt with anxiety. And trust me, there are many. I know that this sounds super cheesy, but the best thing I or any other YouTuber here on the platform can do for you is to be the person that will open up your eyes and show you that yes, anxiety can create the freakiest symptoms. No, just because you didn't feel anxious in that exact moment but still had symptoms doesn't mean that it is not anxiety. And no, going to the doctor for the 100th time will not cure your anxiety. There is no one thing that someone can do or tell you that will make this all go away. Trust me on this. Learn and listen from what I've been through and know that I've been through some scary and depressing stuff. Maybe even scarier than your experiences. Or not. But at the end, it was anxiety. And it was recoverable. I did recover. So what I'm trying to say is, you can never even start to feel better if you form your life around trying to make your anxiety symptoms and feelings go away. You cannot rely on little twists and tweaks in your life so that you get a feeling of security. At the end, you will have to take that leap of faith and start doing the things that scare and also trigger you. And yes, they will be scary. And yes, you will get panic attacks at first. But the more you get through these times without any coping strategies, before and after your panic attacks, you will naturally start to regain your life. I mean it. Listen to some of the stuff that I have experienced in my videos, and I hope you can relate, and it will enable you to take that leap of faith. There really is no thing that will just flip the switch and anxiety is gone. It is really something very gradual, and it will take time. Please check out this playlist for some advice on how to make this journey easier. I mean easier, not easy or immediate. But I know that you will get there.